Welcome, everybody, to the next level. I am Brian Daniels. I'm kind of flying solo today. I'm the only host on this show today, but I'm not totally alone. I know, right? As I have none other than Carl Doninger from PopCon. Welcome back to the show, Carl. It's good to see you, man. How you been?
Thank you, and doing very well.
That's good, man. It's always good to see your smiling face here on our show. Carl's no
Do
stranger.
I ever not smile? I don't think I ever not
I know
smile.
I've never seen you like not smile. I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen you upset either. I can't
Even when
imagine.
I frown, it looks like I'm happy.
It's the cheekbones. It's got to be the cheekbones, man. So we got Carl on the show. Of course, we want to talk about PopCon. We do this every year, and we got something special because not only is this the 10th indie version of PopCon, which that's wild to think about. That this is already the 10th one, but PopCon is coming to a new town, which I've been trying to get Carl to come down here for a minute now since I've been down here. We got PopCon coming to Louisville, and it's going to be, we're like less than 2 weeks away, Carl. This is wild, man.
Yeah. It's 13 days.
Yeah.
Oh, 12 days.
12 days as of the day of this recording anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, 12 days away. And it just kind of seems pretty surreal, really, that you guys are going to be doing two shows again. I know you guys haven't done a second show since Fort Wayne. That's been a few years ago.
That was 2018. Yeah.
2018. Yep.
And it was nowhere to this scale.
No.
Fort Wayne was a mini PopCon by design.
Yes.
Because it was a smaller facility.
Yeah.
But in Louisville, it's the whole thing. It's
the
whole thing.
Yeah, you got another decently sized city to work with here. Definitely a different type of city. That's definitely not the same as Indianapolis, of course, but you got two shows. You're doing this again. I know it's been a while. So let's just dig right in, man. So of course, you got PopCon and Indy is going to be in August, which that's going to be a little different, right? You guys are going to be, is that still before Gen Con though, right? Or is that after Gen Con?
3 weeks after.
3 weeks after. All right. So you guys are going to be there.
The easier way we're the weekend before Labor Day weekend.
There it is. Yeah, that's right. It's like almost the last week. I think it's the last full week in August. Yeah. And that's different because I'm so used to you guys having PopCon be in June. I mean, it is going to be in June, just not in Indy. But this is kind of throws my schedule off a little bit, man. What are you doing here? No, but really though,
here you may not even know the full scope of this. So we have Louisville in June this year, then we have Indy in August, then we're doing Indy in April, and then Louisville again in June. So we're doing full 4 shows in 365 days.
Whoa, I did not know that. That's a big deal. All right. So you guys are going to be back in Indy in April? That's wild.
And then we're going to be in April all the time for at least 5 years. So we've got the same weekends for 5 years running in Indy. That was it took us 10 years to work a good deal like that one.
Oh, that's exciting. So here you go. This might be the first place anybody's ever heard that. There you go, right there. They're going to be at the Indiana Convention Center in April. By the way, they changed their carpet. I don't know how I feel about that. I was there this last week.
Yeah,
weird.
I was in a meet. We got invited to a meeting with the convention center staff to talk about the carpet samples, and they had them all out with us because we're local. We can just walk into the convention center pretty much on a whim when they ask us to. But I really actually do like the new carpet. But the funny part of that story is I asked them what were they going to do with the old carpet because it is highly valuable. And they looked at me and they said, yeah, we understand that for you and Gen Con, it's highly valuable, but it's government property and we can't do anything with it.
That's a shame. Yeah, you had told me that. Yeah, you had messaged me about that.
So I asked, I was like, man, you guys, you could almost cover probably the cost of the new carpet if you sold the chunks of the old.
Like I know they were working with Christie's auction to auction off some of the.
They might be doing that
pieces of the carpet.
They're completely baffled. They hate the carpet. They think most events that aren't geeky hate the carpet. Definitely hate it.
Well, how I was able to look. So I was in town this past week. and I was there Memorial Day, and I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna wander around, downtown. I haven't been in Indy in a while, and it was weird being in Indy not going to a show because I'm usually going to a show when I'm in town. So I was like, this is kind of weird being here. But I'm from Indy, so it's like, it's my hometown. I know like the back of my hand. So I was like, let me. I'm already over here on Maryland Street. I might as well go to the convention, at least peek through the windows. And there was a security guard, and he's someone taking pictures of the inside. He's like, "What are you doing, man?" I was like, "Oh, don't mind me. I'm just a nerd, and I'm like checking out the new carpet." And we got into this like 25-minute long conversation. I'm not kidding. And he was like showing me the best places to view it at and stuff. It was kind of funny. And then he's like, you know what? Just come inside. He let me in. And I got to walk around and see it. Yeah, I guess it's supposed to make the inside look brighter because of the windows and everything, which it's supposed to do. But it's going to take some getting used to.
Yeah, well, me too. Yeah, but when it's all done, they're doing it in
sections
because you can't do it all at once. So,
but yeah,
I think they're even working on some of it during PopCon in August. So not even for Gen Con will it all be replaced.
Will it be done? No. He told me they had 4 months, but I don't know. But yeah, so that's different. I didn't mean to get onto a tangent about the about the carpet there, but yeah, and as you said, to those of us I've been to like almost every Gen Con since the one they first did in Indy. I think it was like 2003 or something like that. And yeah, that has some memories, right? I don't think the carpet looks particularly great, but it's not about that. It's just about the memories people have had on that, right? So that's why it has a special place in people's hearts. I know, like with the RCA Dome, when they imploded it, they took the roof of it and they turned it into. There was a company that actually turned it into like purses and like things like that. Yeah, I don't know if you know that or not, but yeah, oh yeah. And so I don't remember where that company's at, but it's there. And they had like little pieces of it you could buy. I was like, that's kind of cool. That's why I was telling you. I was like, they're kind of cool. They did that with the carpet too. But PopCon, let's get back to PopCon. So PopCon is going to be here in Louisville. Like you said, we're less than 2 weeks away now at this point.
To the 18th.
Yeah, there you go. June 16th to the 18th. And I gotta ask you guys something, because what was the decision to bring the show to Louisville? Like, what did you guys have other cities in mind before Louisville? Like, what was the thought process like to come down here?
Well, it's funny. You are the one asking that. So you've been bugging me for years. So
I have, yeah. I have, yeah.
It's a much longer story, as I'm sure you understand. But
sure.
We've gotten to the point. PopCon's gotten to the point where, in order to continue to be increasingly successful, you can't do it from a single event.
Right.
You cannot raise enough. You can't make enough money to make it worthwhile with just one event. So we had to spread out, and that was we dipped our toes in the water back in Fort Wayne in 2018. But then COVID happens not too much longer after that, because we couldn't get a 2019 show in Fort Wayne. Mm-hmm. As everybody's chagrin. But you had talked about Louisville. When we looked into it, we realized there were no other major events in Louisville. None. Zero. Zilch. Oh. And we reached out to their visitors bureau, and they hooked us in. So from when we reached out to their visitors bureau to when we're actually signing the contract was actually incredibly short window. It was very surprising. We loved the exhibition center, and so the space that we're in this year, I love it. I think it's a fantastic space.
Yeah.
Parking's right there. The only downside that's a little bit different than Indianapolis is you can't really walk to a hotel and you can't really walk to a restaurant. Right. But it's even closer to the airport. So it's right across the street.
Yeah, so, it's all right there. Yeah.
So there was a lot that's convenient for attendees. It made it more difficult on us of where we're housing celebrities and where we're housing our staff. But that's all behind the scenes. Nobody that's showing up to PopCon cares about our woes.
Yeah.
So we're running with it, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And that was really the thought process. If we go to a third city or a fourth city, I don't think it's going to be neither of those will be in the Midwest. It was just pure happenstance that our second event is as close as it is to Indianapolis.
Yeah, I know.
We could turn down the opportunity to move into a market that just doesn't have an event.
Of course,
I don't know if there's another city the size of Louisville in the United States that doesn't have some kind of event.
Yeah, and as much as you know, I cover a lot of conventions. I've traveled to many, mostly within the Midwest, um, like Ohio, Indiana. I've done a few in Chicago, and then down here in Louisville. And as I had told you before, it's like, they had GalaxyCon down here, and they had SuperCon before it, and those shows kind of pulled out. There's been like a few really, really, really like tiny cons that have came
Oh yeah,
here,
I'm not speaking about
but
there's layout
oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Louisville Con. There's a lot of great events
sure,
down there, but
there
just
are.
not they're different
But we're
scopes. And
yeah, we're talking more along the lines of what you guys are trying to offer, more of a bigger scale of things. And while those cons are great, I mean, I've been to like Louisville Con before. That guy who owns that, he's pretty great at what he does and what he has to offer for people. But we're talking like, I mean, I'm from Indy, and I was pretty spoiled living in a town that, I grew up and we only had Gen Con for a while, and then there was like nobody else that came but Gen Con, and then we started having like Wizard World came one year, Awesome Con came one year, and then you guys started up, of course, and then some other conventions like I know in the other Indiana convention that comes there too, as well as there,
I like how
and the
you put
list goes on, right? So like, there's just it has now become a convention city,
that.
right? And so, and of course, there's other events there too. I know they did the firefighters convention and things like that every year as well. It's like it's just that's what that's for. And it's wild to me because Kentucky has the Kentucky International Convention Center right downtown, and like there's no cons that go there anymore. I know GalaxyCon was the last one that did that. That was in like December of 2019 was the last time they did that. And I just thought, man, like it's kind of a shame that this town has like no big, huge cons of any massive scale or any big grand scale or anything like that, or at least a 3-day.
For 12 more days.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what we're talking about. We're gonna that's all about to change. And I've been trying to let everybody know down here. Look, y'all don't understand. You guys better get ready because PopCon's gonna bring it, and I know you guys are gonna do exactly that. How does it feel? Because I know like you guys we're gonna go back several years ago, when the first PopCon was nothing but merely a kickstarted thing. I still I do have I looked at that page from time to time, like, man, this is so wild. Like that was then, and this is where you guys are at now. And then you were a fledgling show in the midst of other conventions in a massive city. How does it feel now to be that show going into a city that doesn't have any conventions now? Kind of like the tables have kind of turned in kind of a way, right, for you guys?
A little bit. Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we know what we're doing now. So that helps.
Yeah.
There are funny things that we forgot that when you operate from a city that you live in, you enjoy certain benefits. So
Yes.
getting volunteers was not difficult because everybody knows everybody.
Right.
Working with we're spoiled again, like you said, in Indianapolis. It's the #1 convention center in the country. It's the #1 airport in the country, #1 visitors bureau in the country, and everything's easy in Indianapolis.
Yes. Yes.
So we didn't know how easy it really was until you start looking and moving to other cities. So that's really nice, and
Yeah.
a great convention center staff. And so we're relearning all that with a completely different set of folks. And every city has their own rules and their own way of doing things.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're learning all those things, and we're perpetual rule followers. So we want to play within the rules, but we're learning a whole new language in Louisville. And we know people, but not like we will in 2 weeks. So we're gonna, it'll be very different going into our second event in 2024. Now we have our PopCon rule book and our playbook, and we're rolling the whole thing out. So we don't have the podcast awards or the film festival in Louisville, but everything else with
That's
the
great.
laser tag, esports, escape room,
Nice.
video games, everything. So
That's awesome.
we do have live podcasting. I'm sure you've signed up, and
Yes.
so it's full featured, and we have hundreds of vendors and artists, and a full slate of celebrities. So it really is PopCon. Again, it's just so yeah, it's been interesting. Things are a little bit more expensive in Louisville than in Indianapolis, but But other than that, it's PopCon full fledged.
Yeah, I look forward to seeing the Louisville spin on things, because like I know down here things, as you said, are they're vastly different than living, and not only that, but I mean Indianapolis is a bigger city. It's a bigger city than Louisville, of course.
Yeah, not by a ton, but yeah,
not by a lot, but it is. And for me, it's I myself, as having lived in this area now, it's been about 4 years now that I've been down here, and there are some places, like I know, like for me, I like to compare. So like for me, Baxter Avenue, Bardstown Road to me feels like Broad Ripple, right? That's kind of how I'm sure you guys have got to check that out too. It kind of has that Broad Ripple flavor to it, if you will. So like, that's where I know that's where me and my wife spend a lot of time, is when we're in Louisville. We spend most of our time over there. I'm excited because you guys are going to get to make those new relationships with people, because I'm sure you have a lot of vendors that are going to be from in the Louisville area, most of which I know have helped get you guys there as well, which I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's interesting that you brought that up. In Indianapolis, we've always tried to work with the local mom and pop shops, but they see us as taking business away from them.
Yeah.
So, and that's okay, because they're brick and mortars, which is why we started Geek Week, and we try and have events in Indianapolis leading up to PopCon, take people to those stores first, and then PopCon ends the week as a big party. In Louisville, it's the exact opposite, and it actually caught us off guard. The stores were excited to participate.
Yeah.
And so we're trying to bring as many of them onto the vendor floor as possible. And I'm actually really excited about that, because
that's fantastic.
Yeah, that's neat, and it was unexpected.
Yeah.
I love it. So
yeah, I think it has a lot to do with, as I said before, like when I've talked to people about you guys coming here, like a convention's coming back, like it kind of catches them off guard, because I will say once again, as someone who lived in India, who's lived in India for most of their life, and being spoiled, having a nice flavor of of conventions to go to and have access to, and then being down here, it's like where's the con scene at? I'm glad you guys are coming down here, and I hope that because of you being down here and being successful, I know you guys are going to be success. I'm not even worried about that. I know you're probably stressed a little bit, but many as people as I have talked to, they are super excited about being at the show. And I'm looking forward to seeing maybe a revival, if you will, of conventions coming back to Louisville. And it's just, I think it's great that, like I said before, you guys were that fledgling con. Now you're not at all anymore, and you're the ones now coming to a town who doesn't have that big market convention, that 3-day convention that a lot of people yearn for, especially here. And you're going to be the ones, hopefully, to bring that back to the city. And I think that's an exciting thing for you guys. I'm sure you guys are super excited to delve into a market that really doesn't have a whole lot of competition or a whole lot to offer in that aspect. What's it been like outside of, not just getting into Louisville and getting prepared at the Expo Center and things like that, but what's it been like planning this show? I mean, in comparison to, you said it was, it's kind of easy to do it in Indy because you have certain luxuries and things. What's it been like to plan this particular show for you guys? What have you had to do differently? What are some things you've had to go outside the norm for to do this particular event?
Well, we've had to revisit local events to encourage vendors to come into a new event. So we've been traveling again to all the local ones. Like, it was my first time at Lexington to go to that show, which I was pretty impressed. It's a good shop. So interesting facility, but it was a good show. But they're a victim of what they've got there. But we've had to re-encourage vendors to come into a first-time show in a city. But we have our own street cred, so that helps. The versus first year in Indy to now, we have wonderful relationships with celebrity agents. So
that's great. That's always a good thing.
Had our back this year. They were jumping all over, being the helping us out to get into our first show here in Louisville, and that made that really easy. the hotel contracts have been a little bit murkier just because there aren't any that are there's nothing adjoining to the facility. So we really had to negotiate some things on the hotel front. So that was back to year one kind of scratch stuff, because the local hotels in Louisville don't know us. We have no reputation.
Right.
So we'll have to build that up over the first few years again, which is normal, because we did that here in Indy. I don't know, because we already know how to schedule all the panels and the podcasts, and we already have all our vendors for the esports and the laser tags and the escape rooms. We're bringing in Nerf for the first time.
Yeah, I saw that. That's amazing.
We have a state-of-the-art maid cafe coming in, which I'm really excited about.
That's awesome.
We're flying them in from California. So I think they were the one even at C2E2. So it's the real deal maid cafe. I'm pretty excited about that. But again, with all our wonderful relationships with the Star Wars cosplay groups, we've got them all coming out, and they're really excited about having an event back in the area as well. Even the new Sith Dynasty, which is the new Lucasfilm limited approved cosplay group. So there's there's the 501st, the Mandalorian Mercs, and the Rebel Legion, but now there's the Sith Dynasty.
Oh, that's cool.
So all four official groups are going to be at Louisville. That'll be a first for a PopCon, because Sith Dynasty is maybe a year and a half old. Maybe.
I was gonna say, that's the first I've heard of that.
So we don't have any in Central Indiana yet, or at least not an approved chapter in Central Indiana yet. So so they'll have a booth down there. So that's exciting. It's just we're working with the Orcs, so the Ohio River cosplayers. They're good, and Nerd Louisville, and I'm Anime Louisville, and there's just wonderful organized groups. Everything is there. We just need a lot of people to pack into the building.
If you don't mind me asking, has it been looking good so far with badges and everything being sold?
We keep getting told, which is by the numbers valid, that Louisville as an entity, no matter what event it is, they buy late, and we're seeing that. So we're expecting a big surge based on what other people have told us, and we can take as many walk-ups as want to walk up. So if you don't want to pre-register, just come on in. Our registration's super easy. So
you guys make it very easy. I've never had an issue.
Right. So we're ready to take it on. So we're expecting a lot of week of or even day of sales.
That's awesome. That's great to hear. Now, I know you guys we mentioned before about the whole parking situation. Tell me about what that was like, having it, because you guys are used to doing like gate 10, and you already have, it's a pretty easy thing to do in Indy, but like here, what was the whole like because I know it's like $10 a day or something like that, and what was that whole thing like for you guys at the Expo Center? I'm curious.
Well, it's been interesting. In Indy, as you know, we can only control so much with parking. All the parking is owned by completely different entities, whether it's Denison or the city or other private lots like Gate 10, which is owned by the Colts, and all the other things. So we can work relationships with them, but we can't really dictate a price. It's their price, and it is what it is. That is also true in Louisville, but it's all run by the facility. So the big parking lot, it's controlled by Kentucky Kingdom and the Expo Center, with a single gate, and it's their prices, but they're actually really good prices, believe it or not. The only oddity, I think, is that there's no overnight parking. So that's been an educational experience, because the vendors are used to parking and staying, and they can't. Or shouldn't, I should say. I don't know if they can't, because we don't know what latitude we really have. We have to have them first to know what latitudes we have. We have to experience it. if you drive up without pre-purchasing, it's $12. And if you want to come and go in the same day, it's $15. And compared to Indianapolis, that's dirt cheap. That's cheap.
Yeah.
So
to have parking for like 8 hours or 10 hours, it's a lot.
Yeah, it can get very expensive here in Indianapolis, especially when you get closer to the convention center.
Yes.
So it is. So the max being $45 for parking for the entire weekend. That's in our world. That is very.
That's actually inexpensive. You're right about that. Yeah, yeah. I mean, and it's great that was there a specific, and this is one thing I meant to ask you before, and I wanted to wait till now was. Was there a specific reason you went with the Expo Center versus the Kentucky International Convention Center downtown?
Availability.
Is this availability? Okay.
The downtown facility had no openings in the summer time frame.
Oh wow. Okay.
So it was just we lucked into the time that we did have.
That's good.
So
That's
we're
good,
not
man.
gonna look a gift horse in the mouth. They had a great date.
No, definitely no. So let's talk about some of the things you guys have planned. You had mentioned the Nerf Wars, which I'm looking at this. That's pretty sweet. I'm excited to check that out. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah. So anybody, young or old, can come.
Yeah. Tell us about that.
For $20. They can play all day, but you get a Nerf type weapon and the foam darts. And a carrying case, something. Those two things I know for sure. But then you get to keep it. It's yours.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay.
Yeah. So it's an all day experience, but you get to walk away with the thing that you've been using all day. So it's
okay. That's
really cool.
I like that.
Yeah, and it comes with a big blow up maze like you would see at a backyard party, but it's huge.
Yeah.
And it looks like a lot of fun. So that's pretty
okay. That's super cool. I'm excited to see that. You guys are also doing we got a magic show coming too.
Several.
Right? Yeah. So you got a few. So tell us what made you decide to want to go the magic show? That's kind of neat. I like that. That's cool.
We met at Anime Crossroads here in Indianapolis. We met Caleb Wiles, who is an Indianapolis native, who has been on Penn and Teller maybe once or twice, actually, I think twice. On Fool Us twice. Yeah. So we just started chatting. We started chatting. He's got a nonprofit that generates money for other nonprofits.
Yeah.
And so he worked with us with some local-ish people in the Louisville area, Lexington area.
Yeah.
To put on some real magic shows. These are not kids party magic shows. We've been on Penn and Teller's Fool Us with actual opportunity to fool Penn and Teller. And they're going to be doing mini shows, mini as in miniature shows throughout the day. And then they're going to have one bigger show on the main stage one evening. And the mini shows, because it's up close and personal and it's a nonprofit, it's going to cost $10 to participate in that, because it's much smaller groups. You're more likely to be able to directly participate for the people that actually enjoy close-up magic and type stuff.
That's cool.
And again, it's for charity. And they're coming with learn how to do magic kits too. I wish I can, there's so many conversations, but there's some tie-in with that, and they're going to have a booth so you can learn magic and come away with a kit that they put together on how to learn magic. And it's all kind of wrapped into that, but it's all because of the wonderful efforts of Caleb Wiles and his group that he's brought along. And I encourage everybody to go up to their booth. Through the main entrance, they're going to be the first big booth on the right, so you won't even be able to miss them.
That's great.
And it's going to be really exciting because it's the real deal. This isn't comic convention type entertainers. These are real, nationally recognized magicians.
Yeah, that's really cool. See, what I always look forward about PopCon, what you guys do is like your little events. Like what do you guys got cooking up, every year? One thing that I did notice, this is a big deal. You guys are bringing it back from last year, something that I got to participate in. I came so close to win this, by the way. But I had a lot of fun. You guys are bringing back the secret games this year.
Yeah.
And
It's
we're called.
we'll call that the mini version of the Seeker Games too.
Okay. All
So
right.
we're doing it,
Yeah.
but the full-fledged will be back in Indianapolis. But
Of
we're
course.
going to do 3 games on one day, and it'll be Sunday.
Nice.
So we're planning on doing it about an hour after the vendor floor opens on Sunday, and then we're going to do all 3 games back to back, so that you don't have to leave and come back and leave and come back. Just to make it easy on everybody to get them into the flow. But yeah, we're bringing back some secret games. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
And that's what's up, man. I had a lot of fun doing that last year. That was a ton of fun to be a part of, and I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys got cooked up for that too. Are these gonna be? Is the PopCon Louisville one gonna be different from the one in Indy? Are there gonna be different types of games and things like that? You gonna do?
Always.
Oh, that's what's up. So you get the unique experience both ways. I love that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So yeah, again, we're in Indy, it'll be the full-fledged. So we're calling it Secret Games, but it was the Squid Games. We renamed it to Secret Games because if this continues to be successful,
you know how it's going. You know how licensing goes. Yep.
I'm not fighting that battle. So we're using a word that no one can take from us. It's
there you go.
Secret. So
that's smart. I knew that's why y'all did that. But yeah, I get it. I get that. I get it for sure.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be
yeah, and then you have a dance party too. Tell us about that. I'm looking at that here. What is this dance party going to be like? Is this going to be at the Expo Center as well?
Yeah. Nice. So we actually on Friday night we'll start a little bit earlier. So on Friday night, because it is Pride Weekend in Louisville, we have 6 or 7 drag queens coming in for a drag show. They're all Louisville natives.
Okay.
Well, no, I shouldn't say natives, but they live in Louisville.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're actually from Louisville, but they live.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
So we're gonna have a full-fledged drag show on Friday night, which will lead into the DJ dance party on Friday, and then we will do it again. I think after the cosplay contest or magic show. I can't remember which one happens first. Sorry, I don't have the huge.
That's okay.
Memorized. But then it'll also lead into another big dance party. And if anybody that's been to the Kentucky Expo Center, the exhibit hall C has that huge glass atrium.
Is that where you guys are doing it at?
Yeah, we're going to be doing it inside that big 50-foot tall glass atrium.
That's going to be awesome. We'll see.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Now that's all. Now, is that included with your entry? There's no extra charge to attend that. That's awesome. Love that. Yep. So of course you guys are going to have a ton of awesome panels. You guys do a really great job of putting some panels together and things like that. Let's talk about the celebrities. You guys, of course, the celebrities are, of course, they're just as important to any convention. That's kind of your draw, if you will, one of them anyway, of going. You guys have some Gilmore Girls people coming, right? I see that.
Yeah, Scott Patterson and Yana Truesdale. Yep.
That's awesome. You got Ross Marquand. He's great, by the way. I love that guy. I had the pleasure of I met him at like Horror Hound one year. He's a huge nerd, big gamer, really good guy. If you don't know, he's from The Walking Dead. He's Aaron in The Walking Dead. You guys have Emily Swallow coming back, but she's coming to Louisville. She's going to be at Louisville. And she's such an amazing person. She's an armorer from The Mandalorian, for those who don't know. She could be the Mandalorian.
Who knows if the series is not called after her, right?
That's very true. That's very
true. If anybody follows anybody's lead, it's been her the entire series.
Who is the Mandalorian? I have lots of theories about that. We won't get into that though. But but we got you got Ming Chen from Comic Book Men.
Yep.
You got Cooper Andrews. He was also in The Walking Dead, but he was also in Shazam too. You have him coming up. Of course, you have no lack of any anime or voiceover people coming as well. You guys always do an excellent job of that. Some Demon Slayer, My Hero Academia, people coming in. You guys are also, from what I heard, you're bringing Twisted Tunes, right?
We believe so.
Oh, I hope so.
So there's been a wrinkle in the last few days because we lost Jim Cummings. Jim Cummings had to back out, which was our 4th Twisted Tunes person. But we believe we have a replacement.
Ooh. Okay.
We can't announce that person yet because we don't have the signature. We're always very good about not announcing people unless it's a contract.
The paper, I get it. Yep.
Yeah. So we believe we have a replacement, but I can't guarantee it.
Okay. And if you have that replacement, we got Twisted Tunes in, right?
That's right.
That's
So for those of you that don't know what Twisted,
tell them, please.
We are able to do it. It's usually we usually have at PopCon 4 of the finest voice actors that all comedically read a movie script, and it sounds like one thing, but hearing it and living it is hilarious and wonderful. And if any event has the opportunity to do Twisted Tunes, they should not turn it down.
No, definitely not. And I think that to me is one of the big things I always look forward to when going to PopCon is Twisted Tunes. I will say, if you want a little taste of what you can expect, they do have some videos on YouTube, some from PopCon too on there as well, so you get a little taste, but it ain't the same until you've gone in person, like I have several times. And seen it. You have Dante Basco. You got freaking Rufio coming. That's freaking awesome. I'm excited about Rufio gonna be there.
But
that's great.
I'm more geek out about him because Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yeah, that's very true too. And then you are bringing now these guys, I believe, were at PopCon last year. You got Roger Clark and Rob Wheathoff. You guys are bringing them to Louisville.
Yeah,
They're also coming to Indy too, right? Are they coming to both?
They I don't think so. Not this year.
Okay.
They may be back in 2024 Indy.
Perfect.
I don't remember them being on the list for 2023 Indy. It's Red Dead Redemption 1 and 2, and when those two are together, it is a trip.
It's a riot. Yeah. They went to their panel last year, and you guys are in for a treat when you guys go see the two of them together. That's what we have. That's what I'm seeing here for Louisville. And before we, let's get into the latter half of the show here now, because we're about 40 minutes in. Let's talk about Indy. We can't forget Indy. We've been talking. I've been excited about Louisville because it's about dang time we had a Louisville show, so I'm excited. But we can't forget where we came from, right? Which is Indy. So tell me about this, man. 10 years. This is the 10th show. PopCon X, if you want to call it that, PopCon 10. It's wild. Does it? I know I asked you last year. Did it feel like 9 years? The ninth one. Does it still feel like it's been that long now?
It does. Yeah. I mean, it's been it's completely changed my life. So 10 years.
Yeah, man.
There's no doubt. So it's 10-year anniversary. Again, have one wonderful relationship with the city. We're going to have a ribbon cutting. The mayor should be there.
That's
and a bunch
awesome.
of other surprise local celebrities that will be there at our ribbon cutting on that Friday, roughly noon. So Friday, August 25th. You want to be there. So you skip work that day.
I will be there. Yes.
You want to be there. There will be passing out a collectible, very likely, that you can only get it if you go to the ribbon cutting. The rest will be destroyed, and it's going to be really cool. And
it's awesome, man.
It's just a fabulous experience to go from just Kickstarter, like you said, to the mayor's coming for a ribbon cutting. I mean, that's that complete change. It's just a wonderful experience. We feel loved, but we also love Indianapolis. So there you go. And then we've got our full-fledged International Film Festival, which will be happening. We will likely have separate entry for that. So if you want to come just for the movies, we will probably have a separate entrance for just that.
Perfect.
We have our podcast awards, so we'll have a lot of podcasters coming in from all over the place for the podcast awards, which is also really neat. Podcasters, as you know, do not get recognition like they deserve.
I know that all too well. Yes.
So it's nice to be a small part of that, and we continue to try and grow that every year. It's like pushing a boulder uphill, but it's it's a good time. We really appreciate our podcasters. We've got let's see. Oh, so we talked about the evening parties in Louisville.
Yeah, let's talk about the ones
That
in
are coming.
Indy.
Now the one in Indy, that's a whole different ball game. So
ooh, okay.
We're dropping a lot of money for a true EDM concert 2 nights. So we rented out the entire Sagamore Ballroom, which is the biggest ballroom in Indiana.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah.
And we're going to have essentially live bands and EDM concert Friday and Saturday nights. So it's that one will be separately ticketed.
Okay.
It'll be open to the public, separately ticketed. You don't have to have it. You don't have to have just a PopCon badge. We may make it a little bit cheaper for you if you do have a PopCon badge.
That's nice.
It's an event within an event. I'm talking real expense here on this one. It's we've been asked for years to bring out something in the evening for people of all ages to want to stick around for.
Yeah.
They're getting it all at once.
Okay. Oh, wow. Look at that. All right.
It's gonna be insane. So like full stage, state-of-the-art light system, state-of-the-art sound system.
Oh, that has me super excited.
It's gonna be probably one of the best setups that Indianapolis has ever had. Not just the convention center, not just an event like PopCon. I'm talking about ever had.
Ooh.
So it's gonna be a lot of fun.
I've never been to an EDM. Now you got me super excited. That I will definitely be checking that out. That's great. That's great. Yeah, I was wondering because I was like, I know this is the 10th one. I'm like, you guys got to be going all out to celebrate 10. Like that's
and I believe Thursday night, so the night before PopCon starts, I think Zelda is going to perform. So she's an excellent singer, and she's gonna bring her ocarina. You'll be envious. I think she started her YouTube. She's got 7 or 8 million on TikTok, but she started her YouTube several months ago and has already broken 1 million subscribers.
Oh man, that's amazing.
That's
great.
So yeah, it's Freckled Zelda, and she's gonna be fantastic. So really excited about having her. We love bringing out our content creators. So that's PopCon's niches that we can talk about. The normies are going to be back at both events.
Yeah, they're great too. Yeah,
down to Louisville now too. So that's new news. So that's good too.
Yeah, one thing I wanted to talk about was, so you guys are known for your multiple genres that you guys, you guys are known for. You guys added horror this year. What made you decide to add horror I love that, by the way. I'm all for it, but what made you?
We added horror because we've always had it, but just hadn't openly recognized it.
There you go. Yeah.
Everybody knows the PopCon is a super family friendly event. But we're slowly getting out of our own way, I should say, to bring in content that isn't necessarily for a 2-year-old. So that's what the evening events are for. We've had some hentai panels in the past as an example. But we're very good about making sure that it's clearly marked on the schedule, and if it's an 18 up event, we will have specialized volunteers there to make sure that we're gating a bit for age, because we're very protectful of parents' sensibilities for their kids. But if the parents walk in with them, that's fine too. So but we're slowly trying to incorporate more I'm calling it adult content, but I don't want people to misconstrue that because of the adult industry.
No,
stuff to do.
We get it. You're trying to, I think to me, when you mean fun for the whole family, it's like you want programming for everyone, but that doesn't mean like all the programming is for everyone.
Right.
It's kind of like there's going to be something for dad, there's going to be something for mom, there's going to be something for the kids, but that doesn't mean like every single thing is for everybody. I get what you're saying. So like, and it's good because you guys have had to try to find ways to evolve over the years as a con. I mean, that's probably the one thing. You might have your playbook down and know how to do panels and how to do this and that and the third, but it's about what can you do different or better rather than you did the year before, right? And I'm sure that's kind of where the meat and potatoes kind of lie as far as planning a show goes. And I want to say that you guys have done an excellent job of that. I'm sure there's been a few years where you're just kind of like, I wish we could have done this better, or we could have done that better. And yet, it's just how you learn. I want to ask you a question I've never asked you before. I'm going to ask you this right now, and you were not prepared for this. I've asked some people, what does PopCon mean to them, but what's it mean to you, Carl? What does it mean to you? You've done this now for quite a while. You got your 10th.
You're gonna get me to cry.
I am, because I like it when you cry.
My most fun anecdotes of what it really means to me. You're gonna get me, so I'm gonna not even look at the camera. But
it's okay.
No, it's okay. The parents over the years, I mean, it's been a lot of events now. So parents will bring, the kids will bring parents. I mean, and by kids, it could be a 5-year-old, it could be a 15-year-old, it could be a 25-year-old, and they'll drag their parents along just so that they're not coming alone. And the young adult or child is having fun. They're meeting their YouTuber, they're meeting their celebrity, they're walking around strutting their anime cosplay stuff. Whatever it is, or participating in they're sitting in a panel and they're just glued to every word that the panelists are saying. Yes. And then there's the parent sitting in the back of the room or standing on the wall in the back of the room.
Yeah.
And I have the best time just going up during the panel or during whatever it is and just standing there and striking up a conversation with them. Yeah. And I learn where they're from, and it's often very far away. Not always, but I mean, we're talking long flights or drives for their child or young adult to come to these things.
Yeah.
And I'm there talking to them, and I ask them, are they having fun? And they'll politely say yes, but then I talk to them a little bit more, and I learn what their interests are, and I ask, have you been here? Have you experienced this? And they're, oh, that's here too. Oh, that's going on. I can go do that. And their eyes light up. And here it goes. When I do that, I see those parents again every year, whether their kid's there or not. So that's what PopCon means to me.
That's right awesome, there. Man. That's great.
I told you were going to do it.
I know, man.
It's just There's just so much fun to be had at an event like PopCon, and that we work really, really hard for that kind of experience. So
yeah. I'll say for me, it's kind of like what you said in a way. For me, it's I do a lot of shows now. I might tear up too, so we might be on the same thing, but like. For me, it's more. I travel quite a bit when I'm able to, and I go to so many shows. What I feel is so special about PopCon, it doesn't have anything to do with it being in my hometown. That's not even it. That's just a thing, right?
The bonus. That's
the bonus. But what it is to me is, unlike other conventions, and I'm not saying other conventions are bad, right? They're all in their own way. I knew from the moment you guys did a Kickstarter, there was something special about this. Because one, I had never seen a convention be started that way, which was like, whoa, this is interesting. Like a crowdfunded con. That's cool. And it made me feel good about that already, because I know if someone's going to do something like that, they're already going to have that passion there. And granted, yeah, sure, you guys want to make money, of course. That's part of it. That's not like the end all be all, but that is a big part of it. There's no lying about or hiding that. But with you guys, you guys don't make it feel like that. And there are a lot of shows. I've been to big shows, Gen Con, Wizard World. I'm talking like big shows. And then going to you guys' show, and I noticed that difference where you guys aren't in your face about the profit. And I don't see that. I don't ever feel that. You are a very homegrown show, and I can tell you guys are very passionate. I see it when I interact with you or Les or anyone else that's there, that Chris and etc. You guys really truly care about the fun factor and making sure people are having a good time while they're there, and to get the most out of what they're paying for, because there's a lot of places that you can pay money to go to a show. You might not feel like you got a whole lot out of it, right? You might have just seen the celebrity or got to meet the guest or go to a panel and then kind of feel like, well, I mean, that was cool, but like I kind of want more than that. And there's been shows I've went to And I've even kind of walked away feeling like, I wanted more out of this, right? I expected more from this show. And I've not felt that way. And you guys do this thing, and I always praise you guys for this. And I'm glad you're doing it in Louisville too, where you on every Sunday at your show, you do this thing. And I'm sure people have probably told you were insane for doing this. Why would you want the public to come and file their grievances with you face to face about this show? But hey, and you guys have been doing this for over 10 years now. I have yet to go to a single convention. I'm not even kidding. Okay. That does this. I have not. You guys have a panel, and you basically welcome people to come and tell you guys directly what they thought of the show. And I remember, I'll never forget, my buddy Kenny said, I want Power Rangers, and you gave him Power Rangers this year at Indy. I was joking with him about it. The moment you guys announced, I say, hey, you guys got Power Rangers. There you go. Power Rangers. Boom.
Yeah, I don't think we'll ever not have some Power Ranger at a show ever again.
Sure. Yeah.
we did it 8 of our 9 years, but the one that we didn't, that was one of the biggest complaints.
Yeah. But you guys listen. You guys truly care. And I think that for anything to be successful, regardless of what it is, you as the person that helps craft this thing has to care and hear the feedback from those that attend. And you guys, I will say, while you may not get a lot of things right, you get a lot of things right, but there's some things you don't get right. Granted, that is the one thing you guys absolutely excel on. I will say year after year is definitely caring about your feedback. And it shows because of how much the convention has improved over the years. I see that. I know that. I go to them. I've been to every single one sans Fort Wayne. So I mean, if you're going to ask me, I see it. You guys absolutely care. And you always try to do things to improve upon the year before. And not only that, but you guys are like family to me. And that's kind of how this feels too. It doesn't feel like this is just some big corporate ran show where I don't really know who runs this or who's responsible or who can I yell at right at the end of the weekend.
Well, yeah, that's another rarity because Chris and I are actually out walking around all the time.
Yeah, I see you guys there the whole show. Yeah, the whole show. And you guys do care about this. This is your thing. This is your show that you guys care. But it doesn't really feel like it's your show. It feels like it's our show. It feels like it's everyone's event, and it doesn't feel like it's just ran by 1 or 2 or 4 people. And that is what this means to me. And that is why I support this show as much as I do. Granted, there's been criticisms here and there, but hey, you know what? You're not perfect and you're going to learn, right? You're going to learn. And I would imagine that I always think back to when you guys did virtual con. That was a big learning experience for you guys. I know, right?
For everybody. Yeah.
For everybody though, to be fair, but you guys take it and you go with it. And then you just kind of sit back. All right, let's see what happens. Right. And I know that in about 12 days, you're going to a whole new city. I'm sure there's nerves. You really don't know what to expect until you're there. Right. And so, and I'm pleased to kind of share that experience with you guys and be there too. Even though I've been wanting you guys to come here for a long time, I can't wait to see how it turns out. And I'm pretty confident that it's going to be great. And I appreciate what you do for what you had done for the city of Indianapolis. And you've tried to give the state of Indianapolis another event that they can look forward to. And you've been there for a long time now. This is your 10th show there in Indy. You guys are essentially a staple. I mean, I've talked to people about Indy cons, and now you have I mean, even down here, I've said, have you ever been to any shows in Indy? They're like, oh yeah, PopCon. I'm like, oh, well, speaking of PopCon, and it's like, so you guys now have that recognition, believe it or not, outside of Indy. And I'm very glad that you guys are doing this still. And it seems like you guys are locked in for several years to come, right? Like,
we are.
Yeah. Yeah. And, but I want to say, guys, please come out to PopCon in Louisville. You guys are going to be here about 12 days from now. And then you guys can go to popcon.us. There are links for both shows. So June 16th through the 18th is the Louisville show. And then it's August 25th through the 27th for the Indy show. And if you can, go to both. Why not? Do it.
We even made a ticket for that.
Go to both. You can save money if you go to both. And besides, it's like a 2-hour drive if you live in either city, right? It's just straight down or straight south or north of 65. So it's not a hard drive at all.
And the hotels are very inexpensive in Indy.
Yeah. There you go. So go to the site. There's 2 sites to click on there, one for each show. You guys can see the full guest list. The schedules are now available, although I'm sure there's going to be some things added as you get closer, like the photo ops and the celebrity. I know I'm the admin of the Louisville group. I got people asking all the time, when's the photo ops? I'm like, they're coming. They're coming. Trust me, they're coming.
It's a blessing and a curse. So it's celeb photo ops. They're super duper talented, and they're the exact right people we need, but they're also super duper busy. So they rely on us and we rely on them, and it takes a lot of work. So we'll get them up there.
Absolutely. Well, Carl, thank you so much for taking the time to be here on the show and to talk about PopCon. This is one of my episodes I always look forward to every year, is talking with you and finding out what's going to be new. And I'm looking forward to that EDM concert. That's awesome. You guys are bringing that to Indy. And of course, just coming to Louisville too, and giving the people here a convention, like a big 3-day show. That's going to be awesome. I'm looking forward to seeing my PopCon family down here with me. That's going to be awesome to see you guys here, and some other vendors I've gotten to know along the way down here as well, coming to the show. And what I'm going to do is I will put some links in the description below here on our YouTube channel for you guys to go and purchase your tickets to both shows. And also just let you guys know as well, we will be live at the main the PopCon podcast stage. This show, the next level, will be there on Saturday, the 17th at 4 p.m. So if you want to watch our show, be myself and my wife, Raven. We're going to be doing the show, talking about something. We still don't know yet, but be sure to come out for that, and also come support all of our other fellow podcasters as well that are going to be coming out there for that. And please come out for the show. You guys are going to have a great time at PopCon. I promise you. Once again, Carl, thanks for coming on, and I'll see you guys. Have a great one now.
Go Louisville.
See ya.